Hello YouTubers, Max18363 here, and this is part 2 of F.E.A.R. So first things first, just nipping in here to pick up this reflex booster. I suppose you could say it's kind of an upgrade that's available at various points in the game. There's usually at least one of these in every level, so keep your eyes peeled. Reflex boosters are used simply for extending the amount of time that you can stay in slow motion, which we'll see a bit of later. We will get our first taste of combat soon, but first things first, get this gate open. You gotta love the Delta boys. It's a shame there's such a waste of space in this game, in my opinion. And you'll see why in a second. This is basically one of us pulling the carpet out from under our feet, like I spoke about in the previous episode. And as you can see, the Delta boys basically got spanked. I always find that a little annoying in F.E.A.R. Though you're technically part of a team, you very rarely see any of them, and I don't think you ever get to fight alongside any of them, unfortunately. You're always just sort of on your Todd. Okay, so we're about to get our first taste of combat here. Against the clone soldiers, the primary enemy in this game. You're about to see some expert kicking. Here we go. Bang. You gotta love F.E.A.R's melee moves. I can't help but feel sometimes melee is quite often something that gets neglected in games sometimes. Usually it doesn't go any further than hit the enemy with the butt of your rifle, and that's usually about as far as it goes. And let's be honest, who would want to do that when you've got a whole arsenal of shotguns and pistols and grenades and goodness knows what else? But F.E.A.R kind of flings a little something into the mix with the various moves that you can do. That was a sort of bicycle kick there that you just saw. You can also do a sliding tackle, a roundhouse kick, and if you really want, you can holster your weapon and use your dukes and beat them up the good old-fashioned way. And you can, of course, beat them with the end of your rifle if you're old school. And combined with your slow motion abilities, that's pretty freaking cool. And the cool thing is, melee moves are usually instant kills, which I think is a little overpowered, but hey ho. Now, if you did that in a game of football, that would be an instant red card, I'll tell you. Or soccer, if you're American. Keep forgetting. Okay, so this is a slightly heavier fight. There's usually about half a dozen enemies to deal with here. And they can come at you from two entry points. Thankfully, F.E.A.R has, even though the game's 5 years old, the AI in F.E.A.R is still pretty decent, and they will flank you when they can. They're pretty competent, you know, they'll flush you with grenades, they'll take cover when they're pinned down, they'll come at you when they know they've got you against the wall. They'll do everything that you'd expect enemies to do. games these days, they don't just keep on responding to the upgrade. I mean, upgrade remains what you hate them, but another thing I really like about F.E.A.R is the fact it has a slightly more conventional health system. None of this regenerating shite. Excuse the language. Good old fashioned medkits. I miss medkits sometimes. That reminds me, I just picked up a second pistol there. Another cool thing about F.E.A.R is the dual pistols. If you want to feel all John Woo, this is the game to do it. It kind of annoyed me with the sequel F.E.A.R 2, because in F.E.A.R 2 the dual pistols is one of the coolest weapons in F.E.A.R, and for the sequel they took that away, so that you could only wield a single pistol, this sort of really weird, oddly futuristic looking thing that was just complete and utter rubbish. As if mutilating the handgun wasn't bad enough, they then go one further and destroy the combat shotgun for F.E.A.R 2 as well, and say it's this really weird wimpy thing. Thankfully that's not the case in this game. We'll get our hands on a shotgun later, hopefully. So here's the dual pistols in action. Headshot. You're not trying to tell me that that isn't freaking awesome, come on. And yes, I do use slow motion for just about every single fight. Although it is a limited resource, it only lasts a few seconds. It takes a while for it to recharge, so you do actually need to be strategic when you use it. This gets a bit more tricky in later levels when you're dealing with more and more enemies. However, we're still at the early stages at the moment, so... And yeah, I think that will pretty much do it for this part. I'm going to do this level in 2 parts. Second part will follow soon. So till the next time, peace out. Sorry.